Hello, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Yeah, just 2 minutes. Okay, guys, did you try yesterday's? Are you able to do it?
Yeah.
Both of you.
Yes, it's working. We are able to communicate privately with private IP address.
All right, good. Can anyone of you show the screen? Shivraman or Rokas?
Sure. Sure, I'll share it. No worries.
Yeah, share, and I want to see whether you guys it should be talking from your one AC till the
It's
others privately.
it's disabled participant screen sharing.
Yeah,
Host disabled.
do it now.
Okay. Uh, 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 uh. All right. Should I start? Just testing. Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, it's visible still.
Okay, okay. All right, let me just try it. Connect first. Or I can just connect one and just try to see if it's working. Let's see. Let me get the IP. So from Ohio, if I go to my Virginia instance, I can able to ping the private IP, Ohio's private IP address. It's working.
Is it a public IP or?
That's private IP.
Very good.
That's 10.0.1.15. It's right here, 10.0.1.15, private IP address. And on both sides, I'll be able to ping.
Okay.
Anything else you need to check?
Perfect. Oh, so yeah, so Shivraman, you share your screen now.
Excuse me.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Am I audible? Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you, Shivram.
Yes, I have got output for. I can able to ping from both locations.
This is your private IP, right? Hello, Shivraman.
Yes, this is my private IP.
Okay, very good.
And this is my private IP.
Okay, very good, guys. Okay, good. So you can stop sharing your screen. So what did you guys do? You guys got it right?
Yes. We just need to give the routes for in Ohio instance, we have to give the route for Virginia, and for
Hmm.
Virginia, we have to give the Ohio route to make it communicated after establishing the pairing connection. We just need to change the route, routing table.
Okay, right. So by using VPC peering, what you guys can do is yes, Shivraman, you can stop it. So you both please delete all your instance, remove your VPC peering, right? Or else it will be right charging for you guys.
Yeah, sure. We'll clean up.
Right. So now, so in real time, that's how it happens. So right. So in our environment, in my day-to-day work, so this is how the people will do. So prod people will, do the VPC peering with on-prem, right? Or they will do peering with other accounts, and then they will transfer data over the AWS. They'll transfer data over the AWS network. So it provides them from costing, and also it gives them high protection. That's the use of this. Okay. Is it clear? So we'll start new. So I'll just open slides and give me a second. Hello? Priyanka. Hmm. तरुण में कुछ नहीं पूछ Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yes, yes, we can see it.
Right. So same like storage, right? How we talked about storage, overview of storage. Similar way, we're gonna talk about database. Okay. So in AWS, what are the different kind of the databases you have, different scenarios? What is its features? Why you have to go with that database? When you have to go with this type of database? Right? What is the advantage of this database, right? All those things you're gonna learn in this database. Okay, this entire PDF is all about your database. Okay, right? Different database, what all the different database we have, when do we use that database, right? Okay, so this is our this kind of theory only, right? So shall we start? It's recording, right?
Yes, sir, we can.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so what do you know about database? What do you mean by database? Anyone?
Where do you store all of your data?
So is it a storage service? So in S3 also you
It's
store your data.
correct.
Collection of records.
Sorry, I didn't hear you, Sri Raman. What did you say?
Collection of records and pins.
Right. Okay. So database is also it's a storage only, but here why do we use it? It's for just a second, guys. Hello. Sorry, guys. Sorry for the disturbance. I'm getting continuous calls today. All right. Yeah. So you guys are there, right? Can you hear me? Workers. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we
Gajanan
can
is
hear
there. Gajanan,
हाँ सर
क्या हुआ असाइनमेंट का?
सर नहीं किए हैं सर नहीं किए हैं सर
कभी करोगे?
आज मेरा वीक ऑफ है सर आज मैं करता हूँ
हाँ कर लो यार, वो अच्छा वाला है। आपको ज्वाइन हो तो है ना, जब उसका पता चल जाएगा उसका वैल्यू।
हाँ सर जो कल का रिकॉर्डिंग था वो आपने डाल दिया है क्या
हाँ पूरा उससे ऑर्गेनाइजर
हाँ
से
तो
अभिषेक से जे लेना।
वो मैं फॉलो करके करता हूँ सर उसको
हम्म हम्म ओके
ठीक है थैंक यू सर
ऑलराइट ओके।
हाँ
So database is also storage, right? Mm, but it is called as, organized and persistent storage. Okay. Uh, I'll tell you. So that means you can store your data in organized way and in a person whenever you want, you can take it. In S3, in ABS volume, is there any priority? right? Is there any proper organized way? No, they'll just store it like your, like your, garage, like how it is.
Okay.
Uh,
Randomly store it.
yes. Just the same. Okay, so let us start. Right. So if you see your database provide organized and persistent storage for your data. Okay. So right. So we will choose different database. Okay. We have in AWS we have different database depending upon what these are the criterias, right? Depending upon availability, depending upon durability, depending upon RTO, RPO, consistency, right? So if you want more availability, you have different database. More durability, you have different. If you have higher RTO and RPO, right? So you would need to understand all those things. Okay. So first you need to understand your database properties. Okay. So for basic properties you need to understand. Okay. Features of database. So you guys are aware of database? No, right? You guys are into networking.
Yes, yes, we are.
Uh, yeah. So usually, right, if you see here, the typical way of, doing it. So your database is deployed, okay, let's say in on-prem or in any other London region, right? And your application is reading from your database. Suppose if this database is your Amazon database, every day people will log into your Amazon, they will read, you will go through your Amazon catalog products and you'll order few, you'll just go, right? This is a typical one. This is how they'll use. Okay. So what happens? There's a two challenges here. Your database will go down if the data center, if this entire London region goes down. What will you do if your entire region goes down? Right? And also what will you do if you lose this database, if this database crashes? Right? So that's why what they introduced, first they've introduced something called snapshot. Okay, so in this, what they have done is, if this is one on-prem center, in another on-prem center, they were continuously taking database snapshot. Okay, if you see this, so as soon as any data to come to your database, it is taking snapshot. Snapshot means nothing but the copy, right? It was taking copy of it. Okay, and then so here what happened? Only one problem is solved. What is that? If your database crashes, you will get a copy of database, right? You will have one more copy, you will get it. But if your entire region goes down, what you will do in that case, right? User will lose accessing your database. You have previous copies, but you don't, user will not get access to this database. No, if your London region goes down, right? How to solve that? First, they've come up with snapshot, and then second thing is what they have done. They've come up with something called snapshot. Okay, sorry, standby. So what do you mean by standby databases? So if this is your original region, original, I mean, if your application, where your application is running, if this is your main database, what they will do one more standby database. That means same synchronous replication. Whatever the database is, same in another data center or in another region, right? You will put that database. So if you put if you put five stores, I mean, whatever, five objects in your database, same that five will be replicated here. And from here, you will take a snapshot. So now what happens if your entire this region goes down, right? All your challenges has been solved. Okay, if your database will go down, if the data center crashes, no problem. You have one more database, right? Even if your database crashes, wherever it is, you can take a copies of it. Okay, and database, there will not be slowness also on database because you are taking snapshot from standby database, not from the main database. Guys, are you able to get it? These are the features of
Yes,
database.
yes.
First, they have introduced snapshot, then they were facing so slowness, right? When they're taking snapshot, though that's why they've introduced standby, and from standby database they're taking snapshot. Okay, and these are the features of database I'm saying. Okay, when it comes to the availability and durability, right? So what do you mean by availability? So availability in database means, will you be able to access my data whenever I need it? Okay, and the percentage of time an application provides the operation expected of it, how fast the operations can do, right? The durability means, will my data be available after 10, 100 or 1000 years? This is what I mean by availability and durability. So if your database provides all these features, then you can say, right, it has high available, high durability. Okay, that's what I mean by availability and durability. Okay, so please remember this word. So when it comes to the database, it should have 4.9 availability and 11.9 durability, right? So achieving this is very, very, very difficult, but AWS is providing this on the paper. In real time, it doesn't like it no, cannot provide 4.9 and 11.9, but only on the paper AWS is giving this guarantee. Or if you're going for exam, you can expect a question from availability and durability. Okay, if you see here, what is the difference between these nines? Why I'm saying yes? See, availability is 99.95%. That is 39, right? So downtime will be
Yeah.
22 minutes in a month. In a month, you might get 22 minutes of downtime of your database. But if you go with 4 nines, what happens? You will get only 4.5 minutes of downtime. That's why the nines plays huge importance here. Okay, higher, more the nines, right? Lesser the downtime. See, if you have 5 nines in availability, your downtime is only 26 seconds in a month. But achieving it is very, very, very tough. So this 4.9 they can guarantee, but I don't know how much they can guarantee. But whenever you're attending any interview or any class or exam, just mention this. Okay, so one more terminology. Oh, now you guys are clear about snapshot, standby database, right? Now again we have something called RTO and RPO. Okay, so what is RTO and RPO? Any idea, guys? Others?
नो सर नहीं आती। आरटीओ रूट कॉज हम लोग बोलते हैं। आरटीओ रूट कॉज क्या है इसका?
Wakas, Shivraman?
No idea. Maybe I heard, but I'm not remembering it. Return to.
Right. So RTO is recovery time objective. Okay, RPO is recovery point objective. That means, okay, so now let's say you are the boss of your application, right? Let's consider your Amazon application is owned by you. Okay, let's say Amazon application is owned by Wakas. Now RTO is recover time objective. That means how much time you can wait for your application to come down. Let's say if at 12 o'clock, okay, at 12 o'clock your application has gone down. Okay, now Wakas will say to AWS, no, I want application to come up within 5 minutes, right? Within 5 minutes, I want that application to be up and running. So at 12:05, that application will be up and running. This time is there, no? This time we call it as RTO, recover time objective. That means in how many time, within how many times your application got back, your database got back. Are you getting it, guys?
Yes sir, 5 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Right. So RTO is a recovery time objectives, right? In within how many times, how many minutes, right? Your application got back or your database got back. Suppose if your database gone down now at 11 o'clock, and if it comes back active on 11:15, what is the RTO for that?
15 minutes.
Exactly. That's the RTO. Okay. Now, second thing is RPO. Okay. RPO is recovery point objective. All right. So that means how many minutes of data or a minute you can withstand of, I mean, whatever the data you have lost, right? So if this in 5 minutes, right? In 5 minutes, how many data he has lost, right? Recovery point objective, right? Again, in this, so many data you have lost, right? So to recover this data, how many minutes you can wait? Whether you can wait 10 minutes or whether you can wait 15 minutes, right? That is what mean by RPO. Okay. So this you will not get it if you see here, see RTO and RPO, recovery point objective. Okay, it's a maximum acceptable period of data loss. Okay, so if you see here, this in this 5 minutes of period, he has lost his data. Okay, sometimes what happens? No, your application will come. Now it's at 12 o'clock. Your application has gone down. 12:05. Okay, your application has come up, but until 12:10. It is not able to process, it is not able to store, then this 10 minutes will be your RPO. Okay, that means acceptable period of data loss. RTO, it's a maximum acceptable downtime. That's the main difference. Okay, so now in real case, achieving minimum, okay, minimum RTO and RPO is very, 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 very expensive, even in on-prem, right? Or even here. Okay, are you getting it, guys?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt? Wakas, Shreya, Gajanan, Muntaz? नहीं समझा है तो
No
बोलो.
worries.
All right. So achieving RTO and RPO in database, that means your database, how much of minutes are ready to your downtime of your database, how many minutes are ready to lose your data. Okay, so usually, so if you are owner of your application, you will never allow more downtime, right? Will you bear the loss? No. So they always want to achieve minimum RTO. Okay, so how do you achieve RTO and RPO? Okay, so very small RPO is 1 minute, and if your RTO is 5 minutes, okay. If you want this kind of, you should go with hot standby. Now you guys know what is standby, right?
Yeah, we same database in other.
Ah, right. So in that we have different types: hot standby, warm standby. Okay, so if you go with hot standby, what happens? So RPO and RTO, if you see, it's in minutes. Within a minutes you will get it, but it's the costliest one. Automatically synchronize data and have a standby ready to pick up load and use a automatic failover from master to standby. Okay, so everything will be ready. As soon as your one fail happens, the other one will get active. This is hot standby. Okay, and warm standby, what happens? It's automatically synchronous data, have a standby, but with the minimum infrastructure. Okay, it will scale it up only when a failure happens. If you see here in this, if you're ready to tolerate your RTO of up to 15 minutes, you can go with warm standby. Right? So it's very theoretic. Okay, you just go through this slide. Okay, so I don't want to just read it and explain. Wherever the things are complicated, there I'll explain. Okay, this is self-readable. You guys can read it. But
Yeah.
the
Sure.
main thing I wanted you guys to understand RPO and RTO. I have explained what is RPO and RTO. How do you achieve minimum RTO, minimum RPO? Then go through this.
First thing.
Right?
All right.
So let's not waste our time. All right. So next, one of the features of database is what? Read replicas. So in read replicas, so what do you mean by read replicas is what happens? So earlier days, um, so this is your Amazon application and this is your main database. Okay. So this is your, let's say, standby database. Okay. From standby database, you are getting a continuous snapshot. Okay. You're taking a copy. So, but here, let's say your other development team, sales team, they need to understand, right, what are the data is coming. right? They will take reports from this database. This is Amazon application. This is your database, right? Your team members will be coming here. They'll be taking out the list, right? In real time, it happens. Huge people, many people will come to your database. They will take some data, right? They'll have to get this real time data, what all the data it has stored, right? They'll be taking. So what happens because of this, your database was getting down because there were many read requests was coming. So what database, what they have done is they have introduced one more called read replica. That means same like your standby database, they'll create one more read replica. So that's the same replication. Whatever the database is there, original database, same one more database they'll create. So whenever your team members or anyone wants to read it, they'll just come here. Okay, this is only for a reading. A reading means only get the list, right? Whatever the database, whatever this information stored in your database, whoever wants, they can come and read it. So what happens? Your main database won't get affected. It won't get slowed down. So user can, so in real time, they have done it like this only, guys. Now, if you go for Zomato, Swiggy and all, no, so they'll have a main database. So when you order something through Zomato app, so the request go to your database and it will keep your, as soon as it goes to the database, they have configured it in such a way that they'll having a standby database for the backup. They'll have a read replica database. So from here, their database, the sales team or sending to other this thing, it will go from here. Get it? How, what is the use of read replica? Is it
Yeah.
clear, guys?
Yes.
This is
Understood?
only for the read only.
Reading, only for the
Only
read.
for reading
Okay.
and analyze how much
Ah,
it's
exactly. That's it. Suppose if you have a reporting application, monitoring application, you want to monitor your database, you have to then you will have to create a read replica and you have to go through read replica. This is one of the features of database. So what are the features we discussed? So first is snapshot, standby, read replica, and then RTO and RPO. Clear?
Yes.
Yeah. So these all are, consistency model in database. Okay. So in database, we have two to three types of consistency, right? So I'm just give these all are like extra information, guys. Okay, whenever you are explaining, so for it will be very useful for the developers, or if they are working, they need to understand all the database, right? So in database, so here we have a consistency models. One is strong consistency, eventual consistency, and read after write. So what is the difference is very simple. So it's a synchronous replication to all replicas. Okay, will be slow if you have multiple replicas or standby. Eventual consistency is asynchronous replication, a little lag. That means, see, if you see here, there's a read replica, right? So strong consistency means as soon as you upload data, same thing will be replicated immediately. It will be like a mirror. If you come here, it will come here. If you delete here, it will delete off. It will be like mirror. Eventual consistency means after you upload here, it will take few seconds, only, not minutes, or it take few seconds to appear here. Are you getting it? That's it. That's the main difference between strong consistency and eventual consistency.
Okay.
All right. So then we have read after write. So this we use inserts are immediately available. Okay, whatever you do inserts, okay, inserts are immediately available, but you can't do updates or delete. That's the main difference between strong consistency. So if you are into DB admin database, right, then these are very important. That's why I'm just giving you a high level overview. Right, so now comes selecting your database, right? So all these till now, what we were discussing, we were discussing the database features. What are features it can provide? We discussed about snapshot, we discussed about standby, we discussed about read replica, we discussed about consistency model, we discussed about RTO and RPO, right? These are the future features of database. Okay, whenever you think of database, it should contain all those things. Now, selecting your database in AWS. Now, you should consider all those things, what all we have discussed, right? You should consider all those things depending upon your project. What is your project, right? Whether it is a very critical project or a medium level project, all right? So based upon your requirement, you should select database. Okay, which database provides high RTO, which database provides good consistency, which database provides more storage. Are you guys getting it? AWS will give all the options. It has huge options
Yeah.
of collection of database. It will give. I have huge. Okay, whichever you want, you select. So what are the criteria you should select is what we have discussed,
Okay.
right? That's what you're gonna do it here. Okay, so now let us understand different categories of your database in AWS, right? So we have several categories. Okay, these are the thing. One is a relational, document, key value, graph, in memory, and we have several. Okay, so we'll discuss about the most used one. So first thing is we're gonna talk about relational database. What do you know about relational database? Any idea?
No, I don't have much knowledge.
Shivraman, Gajanan, Mantaz. It's very simple. So relational database, if you see this image example, each database will be related. Okay, see if you see this pink color tab, ID is integer. Okay, so it has department name, instruction ID, and duration. So where it will get department name, it is linked to another table called department. So from here it will take, and where it will get instructor ID. So there's one more table called ID. So from there it will collect. If you see, it is related. Each database is related. So in real time also in project, if you're storing some kind of data, right, main data here, one data is related to other, the other data is related to other, right? So these kind of storing your storage in a database, we call it as a relational database. Are you getting it?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, because one object, lots of packets are there, so all packets are correlated to each other.
Exactly.
So this is
Correlated.
called relational database.
Exactly. Right, so if you see your main tab, it's related to other things. That's why we call it as relation. If you see, this was the only option until a decade back, before the introduction of cloud, right? Before the cloud and all, they were using only this only database. If you see your SAP, right, all your CRM applications, they were using these database only. Okay, after the introduction of cloud, they have huge variety of database. Okay, so here you have predefined schema. Okay, so we have something called OLTP and OLAP. You guys just read it if you are interested. What is OLTP and OLAP? That's not much important, right? So in OLTP, we have something called Amazon RDS. Okay, so if your requirement is relational database, okay, if your project is working something or like this relational, then you have to go with Amazon RDS, right? Amazon Relational Database Service. Okay, so what is the use case? It is the most traditional application, your ERP app. If your client is using ERP application like SAP, right? You guys know about SAP SAP and all, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, if you are using that kind of application, you have to go with RDS only, Amazon RDS. Okay, so here Amazon RDS, it's a managed AWS managed service. So whenever you hear managed service, what does it mean?
It's managed by AWS.
Guys,
There
I've
was
told
two
you in all,
services. Yeah.
I've told you in all the class, AWS managed service.
Yes.
AWS only manage that particular service that is called AWS managed service.
No, there was two other terms.
So AWS managed.
Encryption there now, encryption. There some encryption are managed by AWS. So that encryption is called AWS managed by AWS.
Managed means you don't have to worry about the infrastructure availability, right? Downtime. You don't have to worry. AWS will. You just have to give your data. Give your data. Take care of your protecting your data inside it, giving access to it. Rest all running that RDS. We will take care. That's what meaning manage. In EC2, EC2 is a managed service or what service is it?
No, it's not. It's managed by us.
It's a
Exactly.
general purpose. Yeah.
It's a compute service.
Yeah.
So EC2, everything you only give, right? You run it, you stop it, you will be having that control. It's like running a manual car, right? You will be having entire control. Managed service, it's like a running your automatic car, right? They will take care of all the transmission. You just give your speed, give your stop it whenever you want. All the background, it happens automatically, right? That's what the managed. So please remember this managed service means that. Okay, so it's a managed RDS is the managed service. Okay, so here you have famous thing is Amazon RDS, and also you have something called Amazon Aurora, PostgreSQL, MariaDB, all those database you will get it. This is for OLTP, and for OLAP you have other things. Okay, you have Redshift. I'll tell you what is the difference between OLTP and OLAP. Okay, okay, it's already there. So very basic, easy to understand the basic difference between OLAP and OLTP is. Okay, so OLTP data use row storage. Are you guys getting it? So your OLTP, it will use row storage, guys. It will use store in a row ways. So if you see serial number 1, okay, if I give name Vakas, okay, name Vakas, age, okay, country, education, right? It will
Yeah.
go through row wise. Then I'll go with Gajanan, age, country, education. Then I'll go with Mumtaz, okay. So it will store in a row ways. So when we are doing all these years, we were doing with a row storage only. So in the row storage, we used to get limitation, right? So that's why what they have done is they have introduced something called columnar storage. Okay, so your OLTP, OLAP, okay, wherever there's a, okay, OLAP. Okay, if you're going with OLAP, it will go with a columnar, right? Are you getting the difference, guys? If you go
Yes.
with
Yeah.
columnar storage, you can store petabytes of data, and you can distribute one table in multiple cluster nodes. You can just create one node and you can create petabytes of data in columnar. It's a huge thing. You can store huge data in columnar storage. OLTP is the typical legacy one, row storage. OLAP is the columnar. That's it. Just remember that. Any doubt?
No.
Okay, so I have few other things. So if I again do it, it will be overwhelming. Tomorrow I'll show you some possible. I'll show you some demo, and then I'll cover other database.
Sure.
Huh?
Sounds good.
Because theory we don't want to stretch it because you guys will feel boring, right? So that's
Yeah.
why I know. So please remember this database features, what all we discussed, and then the important what database what we discuss about OLTP and OLAP. What is the difference? Difference between OLTP and OLAP.
OLTP is the row base, and OLAP is one database everyone can access through directly connected.
Correct. Okay. So for this, what database you have, for this, what database you have, everything we'll discuss, and then we'll have something called document database also. What is this? Right? We have in-memory database, right? Everything we'll discuss tomorrow. Okay, guys?
Is it
Yeah,
the last?
so
Go ahead, Gijan.
no, my seat over.
Tell me, Vakas.
Is it the last subject that we're
No, still
going through, or
we have some monitoring.
okay.
Yeah, some monitoring services. I'll show you CloudWatch,
Like
CloudTrial.
CloudWatch? Okay.
Yeah. And then I have couple of services. Then we can finish within this week or next week. If you
All
guys
right.
need anything, let me know.
Sorry, you are in. Sorry, I'm just I'm asking. So you are working as a cloud engineer or
I'm working as a cloud security.
cloud security? So just I want to know day-to-day activities like configuring database or EC2 or troubleshooting. What type of troubleshooting? What type of activities are day-to-day in cloud infrastructure?